It's 3 o'clock Eastern Time, virtual roadshow day 2. I got one of my favorite people here, Ring, Tommy Leonard, is going to go over. Well, we have 3 trainings with you coming up, Tommy. We have one on the hardware, then we're going to get into lead generation, and your favorite one, the to and through the door, which kind of helps you sell other products with Ring, kind of gives you some great ideas to sell more Ring products. So we really appreciate Tommy being here. We've got a poll we're going to start to help give us some insight of your projects and what we could do to further help you here at 21st Century. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the Q&A. We have quite a few things to give away in this session. So keep asking those questions and we will give away, gosh, we got a Floodlight Pro, a Spotlight Pro, we got an alarm kit. So ask your questions. We'll get them answered and get you some free stuff. 50 points for this training, and we're going to have it recorded and on our VCC to view it after the fact. So you can get another 20 points as well. And make sure you check out the Ring booth. They're a platinum sponsor. So make sure you check out their booth and get some more information and win some more prizes with your points. All right, Tommy, got through that. I've done that, I think, like 20 times already. So had to do that intro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm happy to see you guys. I'm happy to be here. Today's the first of 3, so it's a little bit of a warm-up, but we're going to try to make it fun. So definitely we're going to do some cool stuff, some slick stuff, and some neat stuff. And if you get that reference, I'll send you an additional product today. So that's the quote. I want to do cool stuff, slick stuff, and neat stuff. And if you know what that's from, I'm going to send you a product outside of the stuff that we've already done. So,
well, there's already like
a trivia question for the
people on here, so I think somebody's going to get it.
It's a pretty deep cut. It's pretty specific. But if you get it, I'll let you pick one. I'll let you pick the product. No crazy rules or nonsense. But if you get where I'm getting that from, and I'll mention a few other times through the training. But every training there will be a little trivia question for a free product. I don't like to be boring if you don't know me. If you do know me, welcome to the training.
Tommy Land.
Strap in. Don't try to take notes. That's my first thing. As I'm going to pull up. Are you ready for me to
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Garth Brooks for the win. Holly gets to choose her product. Yes, Garth Brooks' first Facebook post ever. He talked about how he wanted to post cool stuff, slick stuff, and neat stuff. And I have watched that video 10,000 times. It's so funny. So today we're going to be going over the hardware of Ring. And Holly, make sure you reach out to Mark, tell him what product you want so I can shoot it over. But thank you for being a Garth Brooks fan or a YMH fan. I am both. I thought it was Tupac. That's awesome. So
look that up or Google it.
It's really funny. So I saw it for the first time on a podcast I love, and the podcast is called Your Mom's House. It's with Tom Segura and his wife, Christina Pajitsky. But they found that video, and I cannot stop watching it. It is – he just doesn't know how to be a real person. You can't be famous for that long.
I'll check it out then. All right.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about the hardware. We're going to go through the entire lineup of Ring. So if you have does this do that? Or can I do this? If it's about Ring, we're going to cover it today. Tomorrow, we're going to cover all of the other products at 21st Century that integrate with Ring and that we can sell more of because of this. And then on Friday, we're going to do my favorite training, which is to and through the door with Ring, which is lead generation, marketing, and multiplication. So as we jump in here, we are talking about the hardware. If this image looks a little weird, it's because I made it with AI. And if you're not using AI, please start doing it for your marketing. It'll write really good copy really, really fast, and you don't have to do it. So as we get started, obviously, we have a ton of products, right? And this is a little video that you can get from our dealer portal or reach out to me and I'll get you. But across our, I'm going to use a word that we're not supposed to use, our universe of products, there's over 60 Ring core products. So cameras, doorbells, alarms, things like that. There's over 60. And then you count the mounts and the faceplates and the batteries and the adapters and God knows what else. And there's probably hundreds. So today we're going to go through as many of those as humanly possible. And we're going to start with the doorbells. So everybody can see my screen, hear me okay? We are all good, ready to rock. Good. We are.
Hey, and Tommy, just so you know, if you're looking for, like, if you ask a question, you're looking for an answer, it's about an 8-second delay. So just want to
Okay.
let you know.
All right. I see somebody wrote, I have no video. It looks to me like I'm sharing.
Yes,
So,
you're good. You're good.
great. I'm going to start cooking then. All right. So this is our doorbell lineup. We have a lot of them now. And it used to be really confusing with the way that they were named. And then this year, we did a really annoying way of changing the names where it was like, it's not the Pro 2 anymore. That's now the Pro. And the Pro's not the Pro. The Pro is the Plus. And we were all like, huh, why are we doing this? This is why we were doing it. So we could get to this point. So now when you look at the screen, you have hardwired doorbell, hardwired doorbell plus, hardwired doorbell pro, and then the elite, which is our PoE. We have peephole cam, which is kind of its own separate category, battery doorbell plus, battery doorbell pro. And then hopefully next year, we will get to the same level that we've reached with doorbells with cameras. So then we'll have Pro Series, Plus Series, Standard Series. So instead of doing that thing where we walk around the house and go, and you should also put a floodlight here. They go, well, which floodlight should I get? You go, well, you could do the Plus or the Pro or the big. Just go, I think you have a Pro household. This is what the Pro household costs. I don't know. That's a lot. You know, you can drop to the Plus household. The good news is it's the same amount of programming and installation, just slightly less product and some features that are going to fall off. As we go into those features, let's do this. So we're going to start with the hardwired doorbells. And my screen is a little lower, so if it looks like I'm not looking at you, I promise that I am. So for the video doorbell wired, we have the doorbell plus, the pro, and then the elite. As we look at the wiring restrictions, right? If you're going to go out to a home and you have, say, you're pretty sure the last time you were at the house there was 16 or there was 12 or there was 10, please make sure, because the plus and the pro require at least 16, whereas the video doorbell wired can go a little bit lower. That one does not ring the interior chime though. So charts like this, take a quick screenshot, reach out to me for it. But these are those little moments where like you run into a builder and they're like, hey, I can give you 400 of them if you can give me a good deal on installation. You're like, awesome. What do you need it to do? And they're like, it's got to ring the chime. And you're like, then you can't buy the regular wire. Like, that's not what the other person said. And you go, well, that guy doesn't go to trainings with Tommy. And Tommy makes sure that we don't embarrass ourselves like that. So step up, you get some other features, dual band, things like that. But that big one there, and it's like halfway down, works with existing chime when hardwired. Baseline doorbell does not. A lot of people this holiday season are going to get that doorbell as like a gift. A lot of times it ends up, you know, being partnered with the chime or things like that, but it will not make their current ding dong go ding dong. As we move on from there, we get into the battery doorbells, and I promise I will hit every one of these questions at the end. I'm hoping that Mark can quote them all and not even have to read them off notes. When we go into the battery doorbells, the peephole cam is exclusively a battery doorbell. The battery's on the inside of the door. It fits on either side of the peephole so that you can still look through it, and you can decide to record. It also does a great job at knock detection. So for those of you who are doing multifamily areas, doing all that other stuff, by all means, the peephole cam rules. We also have the battery doorbell plus, and the battery doorbell pro. Couple of things here. If you're doing the whole 2.45 gigahertz dual band thing within the house, got to go with the pro. This is the former Pro 2. Well, actually, it's not, but in that range. It has the 3D motion detection. So if you're going to be talking about bird's eye view or the age-old question that customers have of how do I make sure I get the right notifications or I don't get too many notifications, that's really where 3D motion comes in. I have 3 dimensions of how to see which direction you're going. So it's not just you're walking past my house. Are you coming toward my house or are you going past my house? We can start to dial those things in. As you'll see, the battery doorbell plus and the pro both have higher than 1080p resolution. And even the battery doorbell now does head-to-toe video, what we call a one-to-one aspect, because what use is seeing all that width when everybody is taller than they are wide? It's a fun decision when we made it the first time, and now we're getting back out of there. So I'm going to pop into the Q&A real quick, see if there's anything about doorbells to mark a couple off. Mark, do we have anything that's pressing that we want to hit before we bounce into cameras, or should we keep on going?
Hold on, I just went downstairs to get my lunch since I haven't eaten today. Give me a second.
No problem. Let me look through. All
there
right.
we go. We got a bunch.
Sean asked, can you turn off the Eero router and Wi-Fi in the Protect Pro hub yet? Yes, you can turn that into bridge mode at any point. It can be an access point for Eero networks. It can provide backup network. It can be a member of just about any other network and even provide the edge recording and processing. But you do not have to use it as the router primary or otherwise. You can just drop that to the bridge and let it sit there. Is the battery doorbell a carryover from the old one? No. It's brand new. It has the new lens on it. It has the head-to-toe video. It is awesome. Where is Shaq? I don't know what that means. How does the bird's eye view work? I don't know how we make it work, but it is awesome. The way that it works for the customer is it traces a path using the 3D motion, and then it transposes it using a picture that you have taken of your house from above using our app and mapping software. So it overlays our 3D camera view with the overhead view that you have chosen, and then it draws the path of that person within that 3D motion device. Do you have this in a PDF? Not yet, but could. Email Mark to get me to remind me of that, and I will certainly get you one. Why the PoE has less resolution? Because it was made 8 years ago, and it's still awesome. Stay tuned. When will the video be able to integrate with Control 4? I don't know. I don't know. Wi-Fi requirements. Active and functioning. 2.4 or 5 is fine. Model comparison charts will get you. Solar we need for which doorbell? It's always a problem when I go to a supplier. Your best bet is to go right to ring.com. Because on ring.com, it'll cut through all the what does everybody call it noise, and it'll say solar panel 4, and it'll have the devices listed. Is Ring Wi-Fi 6? Sure. I don't know for sure, but I can't imagine that we're not. I have Wi-Fi 6 in my house, and it runs flawlessly. Now, let's jump into some cameras because we knocked that out. Mark, hope your lunch is good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for handling the Q&A. You're doing a great job.
No problem. This is the camera lineup. It's getting extensive. We even have a couple pan tilt options now. In 2025 and 2026, I expect both of the camera counts and doorbell counts to go up. So as we go through here, HD video, two-way talk, Wi-Fi connectivity, you'll see single bands 2.4, dual band includes 5, bird's eye view only on the Pro series, bird's eye zones. Can't have bird's eye zones without bird's eye view, so only in the Pros. When will Ring integrate with Google? We won from 21st. I'm not sure that Ring's #1 thing is integrating with Google, but
you sure?
Be creative and go online, and you probably find a way. Wink. Couple things here as we move through the cameras. We have our outdoor cameras. Now, there's going to be a name change coming up. And something's going to be called an outdoor camera. By no means is that a prescription. The indoor camera is plugged in with USB. I think we can all agree that things plugged in through USB should stay inside. But on the stuff that's labeled outdoor, use your best judgment. Some of these make great emergency lights. So what we look at here with spotlight cameras, whether it's the Plus or the Pro, do me a favor, buy the battery version. Because unless you're plugging it into an outlet, the battery version is the one that is the most flexible and the most valuable to you and your customer. You can add an additional battery. You can add a hardwire kit. You can add a solar panel. But that one is the most flexible, and it forces the battery backup conversation. Because what good is a battery backed up camera if the Wi-Fi is off and your router is off because of it? So as we look at that, that spotlight camera is a great way to get from on the ladder to into the living room talking about Wi-Fi. Both have 2 battery compartments. I live in South Jersey. I have 2 batteries and a solar panel, the USB-C one that's only like, it's hard to do size. It's about the size of an iPad, maybe. And I have never touched the batteries. They run on Wi-Fi. It runs on Wi-Fi. It does a great job. My other spotlight cameras that I don't have a solar panel for, I go out there every 45 days or so. The floodlights, there's a Plus and a Pro. They also have plug-in versions of that. As you'll see, the Plus and the Pro, the easiest way to tell them apart is Plus and Pro. The Plus is circular lights. The Pro is oval style lights. It is the same amount.
Hey, Tommy, we have one of those to give away, don't we?
We do. We have one of each of the ones on the right side here. So we have a Spotlight Cam Pro and a Floodlight Cam Pro that we're going to give away during this training.
You want to ask another Garth Brooks question?
Let's see. I don't want to do another Garth one. Let me come up with a question in the meantime.
I'm kidding.
But I'll tell you, start sharpening up your trivia questions because Holly's going to get something for knowing the answer to that. We're going to do another one here. I'm going to come up with a question. Or if you, Sean, Mike, or Mark, if you guys have a question, or Josh, if you guys have a question as well, by all means, let me know. But one of these cameras will be raffled off to one of the people who stays till the end of this training, or however Mark's doing it. He's probably just picking his favorites, so make sure you yell at him if you don't get one.
No, that's not true.
It's not what you told me. I'm just kidding. The lights are awesome. They all have 2 LEDs. The spotlight cams are 250 lumens. Or 400. It's 400. I think I'm wrong on that. And then the floodlights are 2,500. These things are bright. They're adjustable. They're motion sensitive. They can stay on, but only through lighting schedules. Battery devices don't like to stay on. So if this is like we like to light the whole back conversation the whole time, like all night, maybe we're going to get into some ring lighting skews in a few minutes. Let's start the conversation. Holly, we're going to be friends. We're going to be friends. It's really funny.
I have a trivia question.
Sure.
What was Tommy doing directly before this training started?
Ooh.
Could it be A, getting his presentation ready for this webinar, B, eating a hot dog, or C, brushing his beard?
I'm going to be honest, it could have been any of those.
Yeah, it really could have been almost a D, all of the above.
I'm saying that right now because, well, never mind. I won't give the answer. Go ahead. C.
I was brushing my beard. That's why it looks so organized.
Oh, who said this? It was, looks like it was, the first one said this. Man. Oh, my gosh. Let's see here. Sean Jerry. It was C. Right. He was buffing his beard. Congratulations.
Wow.
You get a
some out-of-the-box, unorthodox responses I wasn't expecting.
No, I know. Yeah.
Cool.
It's just A, B, or C, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't a good one.
All right, there you go.
Oh, boy. All right. So you got the winner on that?
Yep, got it.
Great.
Sean Jarrett.
So John, we'll get the spotlight can to him. Next question we're gonna have up. We'll do the floodlight. You think?
Yeah, let's do that. And sorry, I was a little late starting the poll. If you guys could jump on that poll as well, I would really appreciate it.
Sure.
Just to maybe go live.
All right. So indoor/outdoor cameras, right? So we have a couple. We have the stick-up cam, which is the most popular, right? That's the camera that most people have as a gift. Why am I out of focus here? There we go. Come on now. They all have slightly different fields of view, but for the most part, it's above industry standard. They're all like 110, same set to 170. It's pretty wild, to be completely honest with you. And then they all have battery, solar, and plug-in options for the most part. Now, the stick-up Cam Elite is PoE. You can connect it hardwired to the network, or it can run on Wi-Fi. And you can do that whole thing. That's great. The stick-up cam with pan tilt is a plug-in only. And then we have the stick-up cam and the stick-up cam Pro. The stick-up cam Pro is like the floodlight equivalent of the Pro or the Spotlight to the Spotlight Pluses, where you get Audio Plus, HDR, 3D motion, and dual band. But other than that, not a ton of changes. This is one of my sneaky favorite products, even though it's not super expensive. This is the indoor cam, right? On the left, we have the standard indoor cam. It has its privacy shutter. When you shut it off, it goes doo-doo. And then in the app, it says no audio or video recording is going on. And I trusted enough. I trusted enough to at least go, well, if they are lying, maybe I don't have to work ever again. So it was a risk I was willing to take with an indoor camera, where typically, personally, I'm against them. And then we have a pan tilt version as well. Again, a physical shutter you can close. So if you don't like having that recording the living room, but when you leave the house, you want to keep an eye on your puppy or your husband or whatever it is, by all means, log in, open that when you leave the house. When you come back in, shut it so you don't have to like spin it around and poke it at the wall, point it at the wall rather. Mark, I saw you pop back up. Did you think of another trivia question?
No, I was actually just eating the hot dog. That's why I thought of it. So,
Well, that's important too.
I don't want everybody to see me eating. So,
Yeah.
we can. Let's do it. You think of a good question.
So let's do another one. Sean, if you're still on, you must know a piece of trivia that most people would not know. And I'm wondering if you could share one of those with us.
Right.
If not, I do have one ready.
Oh man, really putting Sean on the spot. Piece of trivia.
I do not have one ready. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. Well, then I have one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, if you guys can see I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick so you can see what's behind me. Because I got to take off these demos. And I'm going to put a record up. And I want you to tell me the name of the lead singer of the band whose record I just put up. First person to get that right is going to win a Floodlight Pro. I'll get out of the way. I know it's hard to see, and if you logged in on a big screen, you do have an advantage. Now, Harold, this one is also not Tupac. Somehow slightly closer, though. Well, that is the answer. Andrea D. Got the answer.
Wow.
The lead singer of the band called Mouse Rat is Andy Dwyer from Parks and Recreation. And yes, I do have that album. My wife got it for me. It's awesome. And if you don't have it, you should get it. As we move on, you got that one, Mark. Holly won the first one. Andrea D won the second one. And as we roll on, we have the Chime and the Chime Pro. I don't expect that this group sells a lot of these, to be completely honest with you. It's a very one-dimensional product. I do like the Chime Pro in those scenarios where people maybe they're considering smart lighting, but they don't really know if they want to invest in it. It makes a great like night light in a hallway or in a bathroom used at night, where you can teach them like, hey, don't flip the light on and hey, you turn, you have the vampire moment and then you can't go back to sleep. Just light it enough. What are we doing? It's 2024. So teach them to love it a little bit with something like the Chime or the Chime Pro. Again, if you were doing like that wired doorbell, this would be the only way to get that Chime. But through integrations like Sonos, Lutron, Alexa, etc., there's a lot of other ways to create the ding dong on the inside without having to rely on our Chime or Chime Pro. That being said, they're sweet, and you should sell them sometimes. All right, next is the alarms. So we do have
Hold on.
Oh wait, I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So next up is the alarms. We have the Ring Alarm, which a lot of times you'll see Alarm V2, which is silly because we don't have the Alarm V1 out. We're just slowly turning into iPads. We're the new iPad with the newness instead of just calling it something else. And then we have the Ring Alarm Pro, where the additional features are it has a built-in Eero 6 in it. It does 24/7 backup internet. So instead of just having that backup monitoring, which the Alarm V2 does, it can then turn that backup internet into Wi-Fi via the Eero and distribute that. If it's a part of the Eero network, it can be an access point instead of the primary router, and it can still back channel the backup internet. Expandable backup power with our power packs that we'll learn about. Local video storage with Ring Edge. It's actually more important to me that it's local processing because it speeds up the time to notification of knowing when it's a person or if it's just a raccoon. Being able to hot rod those systems a bit. And then Eero Secure and Eero Pro. Being able to put a Ring camera in somebody's house and then go into the Eero Pro that you're setting up and say, this one's called the Spotlight Cam Patio, and then monitor that through Eero Pro. And when that Spotlight Cam Eero Patio falls offline because the battery dies or whatever, let's call that customer and make it a paid service call instead of an unpaid service call. As we step in, now that we're done lighting, you know what? Let's do another one. And this one is not going to be, you won't need to have a big screen. I'm going to put this one right up to the screen here. I want you to tell me the name of the movie that this prop is from. Actually, I'm going to use a different one. This one. I want you to tell me in the chat. We're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is the movie that this prop is from? It's Perry Air, naturally sparkling, salt-free air. It's canned in Druidia.
How do you have all this weird stuff?
Honestly, it's for when I have initial meetings with people. I don't tend to blur my background, so people will be like, "Is that Goofy from a Goofy movie? What's the 8? Yeah. Is that Mouse Rat?" All right, yeah. We have a couple of correct answers. We're looking for the first person who wrote Spaceballs. Got a couple in here.
That was Peter. It was Peter.
Peter is the winner. Yes, Spaceballs. I have the Perrier, and I also have a can of Liquid Schwartz in case I have to get somewhere in a hurry. Lots of strange knickknacks, but if you have an office that people visit sometimes, I can't recommend enough. Put some weird stuff that you like in it so that when people go like, oh man, is that Littlefoot from the Land Before Time? You can go, yeah. And then maybe you connect on that. So great job. And may the Schwartz be with you too, Matthew. As he would say. All right, let's get back into it. Still sharing. And they win the Alarm Pro. I forgot to mention that. So whoever got that Pro.
We have one more to give away, I think.
We have one more to give away. And we're going
I have the last one, so whenever you're ready, let me know.
Perfect. I love it. So we're going into the last section now. And this is going to be kind of a quick run through of a lot of our accessories, our smart lighting, some of these tertiary products we don't think about a lot, but have some fun uses. So like on this page, we have Pathlight batteries, Pathlight solars, and outdoor smart plugs. I don't expect you guys to sell a ton of the Pathlights from us, but I will say it makes a great demo. I used to take the Sonance Sonoray around, and if somebody had a pool and it was the right time of year, I always had it in my trunk. And if I saw an opportunity to say like, hey, what if I left it for the weekend? You and the family test it out with the pool. I'll come back Monday and pick it up. Do something like that with the Pathlight batteries around, where it looks like the dog might walk or up the driveway, and let them get a taste of pulling into the driveway and the house welcoming them home. And tell me you don't end up writing a lighting proposal on Monday. And that's why that smart plug is in there. That is 2 individually controlled 900-watt outlets that can be plugged into holiday lights, inflatable holiday decorations, patio lights, barn lights, whatever the case may be. And then you can schedule it, have it tied to a device where it turns on with motion and scares kids on Halloween, or it just makes sure that the Christmas lights turn on, an hour before dusk and they shut off at 2 a.m. instead of having to mess with that plastic dial that's frozen into the grass outside. We can now hook all this stuff up. I do all of my front and outdoor and backdoor lighting like that. Like my backyard Christmas lights aren't on until I open the back door. The gate opens for the driveway. So what am I paying for? Right? But the front, people drive past that all day. I want them to know that I've engaged in society and that I'm not a hermit. It's a lunatic or something. Maybe the last part is up for debate, but that's neither here nor there. As we move forward, we have battery-powered spotlights, probably one of our lowest form of products as far as sales go. We have our step lights, which don't look like that anymore. They're a little bit more square. They look a little bit nicer. I think Mark has a couple on his deck. He did a video with some of those. And then we have our A19 smart plug and our PAR 38. That A19 smart plug, guys, for like workshops, basements, crawl spaces, lightly used closets where you can put a little ring contact sensor and just turn that light on for a minute or 3 without having to get into a full Lutron system, or maybe just to encourage them to call you back for that Lutron system or Leviton or whoever it may be down the road. It gives us the ability to solve those little problems like my kids and this pantry. The pantry light has never worked because it just burns out immediately. You go like, all right, well, what if it was only on when the door was open? And then, like, the only way to turn it back on is you have to shut the door. Like, we can encourage the right behavior. We can put a device in the liquor cabinet. We can put one on the front porch so that no one gets to your front porch without it illuminated. Whether that be you fumbling for your keys or some guy who's not supposed to be there, either way, the light either says welcome or go away based on who is being illuminated. This is what our new step light looks like. There's some of the old ones out there. To its right is the Ring wall light. That thing rules. It's just a giant step light that you can put just about anywhere. I use one above my trash cans. I use one at like the waist level at my barbecue grill so that it lights the area without blinding me. But this thing is awesome. This thing will light an entire garage. It is solar powered on top. There is a plug for the back if you needed to run a separate one, or there's a rechargeable battery. But that thing rules. You have the trash cans around the side of the house. You mount that to the siding. And every time you go out there and grab the trash cans, you get, 5 to 10 minutes of light, however much you're looking for. And then the transformer on the left side. We talked about the smart plug, the 2 900-watt outlets that are programmable. This is a single 12 or 15-volt transformer that you can plug up to 200 watts worth of lights into and power them as a Ring device. So set them up as they're tied to a motion event, or it's just tied to a lighting schedule where they come on every night at an hour before dusk, and that adjusts with the seasons. But this is able to be stacked. You can add these to the smart plugs. You can have multiple layers. You can create that long drive up a driveway where it lights the driveway and then it lights the house and then it lights the backyard. We can really create some spectacular designs, and we can do it with really high margin products. We can go and get high margin devices. We can get rock speakers. We can get lighting. We can get all of these things. And just when we get that objection of, can I use something like Ring? You go, yeah, sure, do that too. But it doesn't mean that we have to abandon some of these great solutions you guys are out there providing. A couple more. We saw the Chime and the Chime Pro. By the way, these are all sales sheets that are available. They're on our dealer portal. If you want access to that, I can give you that. They're all downloadable. I can get Mark copies of all this different stuff. The Access Controller Pro 2 in the middle, that has an LTE antenna with it that is not ever billed to the customer. It's literally free because of our relationship with Amazon Key Delivery and things like that. So that is a weekend controller. It has a pass-through. It's a standard open and shut. There's not like a hold open, but this thing works great with lift masters and at real estate offices with magnetic door locks and stuff. It's a great way to get in with those business clients where the business is just filled with homeowners. So multiplying that lead source, we'll leave more of that for Friday. But and then the power pack, right? These are just 40-watt power packs. So like whether it's plugging a phone in on a long trip, whether it's putting 3 of these under an Alarm Pro, whether it's putting 3 under every Eero in the house, any 40-watt device with USB-C can be plugged into this for 8 hours of power. I have 3 of these under both of my Eeros and under my Alarm Pro. And when my power goes out, which happens a lot if you know me, my house is built in 1835. When the power goes out, I just keep working because my laptop is charged. My Eero router is running on LTE backup through my Ring system. All my cameras are still operating with battery backup, and I'm acting like nothing has changed. If I had kids, they would still be watching Moana on the laptop. They would still be watching something on the iPad. They might have to switch from the Xbox to the iPad to play Roblox, but I can solve the problem of what do I do if the snow knocks it out when I don't want to pay $15,000 for a backup generator? I have a few ideas, right? As we do that, I think that's it for the lighting. So why don't we do our last giveaway before we get to the end? I always like to give away some extra stuff. I have a few more slides, but I want to give away something from the lighting side. So what this prize is it is one of the smart plugs, which I'm going back to now in the middle here, a dual outlet smart plug. It has 2 of the A19 smart bulbs and the smart bridge. So that's the little bundle that you'll be getting for this giveaway. And Mark, you want to hit him with your trivia? Hit him with our trivia question for the day.
Yeah. Today I wore 2 costumes during our webinars. Tell me what I was wearing today for our morning and afternoon sessions.
Wow, that's a good one. Who was present and engaged? Who was it?
We'll say if you could give me one.
Tupac. Harold, you're getting real close to getting something, buddy. You're getting real close.
Yeah. I got it. Matt got it. Yeah. Chris M got both of them, it looks like.
Wow.
Yes, Darth Vader and Doc Brown. Very good. Looks like you were the first one that got both. So congratulations.
Darth and Doc. I like it.
Let's see here. All right.
Should have been Darth Brown. And you could have just been like Darth Vader with crazy hair.
I can still do that. It's not too late.
Just running through with the cape and just being like, we've got to get this thing going. We've got to blow up the planet. Hysterical.
I'm going to get real confused on Friday. I'm going to start mixing costumes up and be real weird. Okay. Congrats, Chris.
All right. So a couple more slides here before we get fully into the Q&A and what you guys want to talk about, right? We have a mailbox sensor on the left. It doesn't just sense mail. I once at a Roadshow made some people laugh by calling it a raccoon sensor because the lady was asking me what product would I recommend her buy that would help her deter raccoons. And I said, you should get a raccoon trap with a mailbox sensor in it because then you'll know when it's full. But messing around with lights and all that stuff, they're pretty used to humans. So we got a pretty good laugh out of that. But yes, it would work for that. This works great as like an if-then type automation solution where it's like, hey, if there's weight on this or there's motion in this area, I need these other things happening. Where this is a Z-Wave device where you get a little bit of a separate connection instead of having to get Wi-Fi out of the mailbox or whatever the case may be. On the right side of the screen, you see all of our alarm accessories. So wireless contact sensors, motion sensors, keypads, range extenders, glass break, flood and freeze, smoke and CO, panic, the outdoor contact sensor, which I love, the dome siren, retrofit alarm kit. That's 8 wired contact sensors. So the next time you're in a basement and you're looking at their electrical panel and you look over and you see that ADT panel with all those white wires that are in it, but they're not actually plugged into anything in that little baby battery, and you think you're going to laugh and go, Tommy told me I'd see that. And that device is like $80, and it'll turn any $50 a month plan into our $20 a month plan. So have some fun with that. It can be a very cool way to do things. And then when it comes to the app, right, we have video history, we have video saving and sharing, and then we have custom alerts. I don't really need to spend too much time on that stuff because I did want to get to this product, which is one of my favorites. This is the Pet Tag. This is a little QR code where you set up a website as a digital lost pet flyer. And if your dog is missing like it is in the left, you could click my dog is lost, and every ring owner within 5 miles will get a notification that your dog is missing with your full flyer and pictures and descriptions and click and links to get in touch with you without having to put your cell phone number on flyers and staple them to poles around town like it's 100 years ago. You can see in the middle what it looks like when it pops up, or if people find your pet and scan it. And on the right, it's just happy that we got Rufus or whatever he looks. I know it says Bailey, but it looks like a Rufus to me. But when it comes down to it, this is the best way I have found 20 years to meet the neighbors, where it is, hey, I do this a lot. I would love your referrals. And they go, oh, yeah, if I hear anybody looking for this thing you did for me, I'll be able. Nobody's talking to each other about what TVs they're getting, or if they're going to hang something on the wall. But if you said like, hey, it's a little passion project. We have these pet tags. It's kind of a, the more who take advantage, the safer everybody's pets are. So it's a bit of a passion project. You don't have any neighbors or friends or family in the area you could introduce me to. I could help make their pets safer at your recommendation. They will hold your hand and introduce you to the neighbors that they don't even like, just because they like their pets. So cannot recommend that highly enough. And then as we go through, these are just some of the things you're going to see in the app, some of the settings. If you guys have questions about the setting stuff, because I want to wrap up here, please reach out to me. Ask Mark for my info. I like talking about this stuff. I'm one of the few people in the world really likes their job. And if you need marketing assets, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we have all these images like you're seeing here. We have tons of these. Post them on your social media. Post the videos of the outside of the house, the inside of the house, what you could bring to life for them. Leverage all the money that Ring is spending in marketing to start the conversation with you instead of with somebody at Best Buy. So I'll finish on that. But if you want to hitting me with the Q&A questions, Mark.
Yeah. You want bring up the Q&A. I think there's a bunch here. We have to get through all the answers to the weird questions. Does the pet thing also auto add the neighbors app?
Yes, that is what it uses. So like you'll get
everybody that has Ring devices,
Ring, but it's technically using the neighbor's network. So yes.
How would the mailbox sensor work when you have a long driveway?
Depends on what you mean by long, and it also depends on everything else in the area. So in situations like that, I would test it, and then if you can't get that to work there, you probably can't get Wi-Fi or Z-Wave. It might be worth maybe like a Alarm Pro and a weatherproof box down there, creating a little Wi-Fi system, or a directional outdoor WAP would go well. There is a Z-Wave extender that we have, but Z-Wave can be a little wacky.
You guys be doing anything with a narrow or smaller contact sensor?
Potentially. The thing with ours is we're trying to balance how little people would want to change the batteries on those things, and how big it is. So there's like some risers and things like that, but they're a little bit clunky. I have them on all my windows. I don't know. I would imagine that we're working on it, but I think it's also like, hey, right now it's like 5 to 6 years before you'd have to even start worrying about the battery in most cases. And I think that was a big one where it was like, if somebody's going to put this on a coffee shop and burn the battery in an afternoon, So I'd love to see it. You should definitely put it in the community notes on the ring.com. There's the community page. There's always forums with upvotes and downvotes that gets taken very seriously.
Let's see. Darth Vader, Tupac. Let's see.
I see one here. Outside sirens. There is a product called the Dome Siren that we sell here and there, but any outdoor camera, so any camera that has that audio two-way talk can be set up as a siren, as well as through the Alexa integration, any Echo or Alexa device. So like, for instance, in my house, all of my spotlight cameras outside can act as sirens. The floodlight can act as a siren. Sonos devices can act like sirens. You can even through Alexa make, your hue lights turn red and it starts playing welcome, it starts playing Hell's Bells, and keep going. That price on step light, I think they're like $80, $60.
Sounds right.
$70, somewhere. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but somewhere.
Access Pro 2 question. What is this? Is there like a little padlock in the app when it was unlocked and the gate closed? Did something change? Or was that not right?
If you tie it to if it has a lock, there's usually an open and a shut. But if the mechanism that we're engaging with has a lock, like the Access Controller Pro 2 It's just a relay. It's just like a translator between us and that product. So we don't tell it to do anything different. We just go like, do that thing you do, baby. So there should be, in some integrations, I believe there is a lock if that integrates through us. Like I think LiftMaster may have that, but a lot of them just have open. Some of them will have like a mild hold or a close. But it will depend a lot of times on what we're actually hooking up to it. But depending on what you've integrated with it, it'll be able to say like the doorbell will have the thing to open the gate. So usually what you're talking about, David, it'll be like they answer the doorbell that's tied to the access controller. So I pull up to your gate, I hit the button, you pull up the camera, you hit the unlock button. But what that's really doing is sending an open transmission to the gate operator and opening the gate. Whereas if it was a door lock with like a quick set lock, it would still use that same symbol, but it would just mean, hey, turn that deadbolt so that they can physically open the door. So it may just be that the symbol is getting reused on two similar instances.
Really
yeah,
good.
The siren would be great. And if you go on YouTube, there is a guy who does that. He has all these fun safes with go away devices that open up. All the lights turn red, all the doors lock, and it plays Welcome to the Jungle. So there are fun things to do. It's not very practical, but it is hilarious and it works really well. Base plates for the Pro 2, yes, but they're tough to come by. That's kind of like a ring.com thing. And also people on Etsy are so creative. They'll make full ones where like, you know, if they take it off because the battery's dead, they can like print your business information on the inside. Like really, really cool stuff out there that people are doing. 21st going to carry the lights, smart plugs, etc. Well, I guess that depends on the old supply and demand conversation. If we can increase that demand, I bet they will. So
yeah, need you guys to sell it, and we'll buy it. You guys, we could absolutely order anything from Ring. So
definitely,
if we don't have them on our site, we can easily put them up there. So if we're not, how about dimmable transformer? How does the integration work between compatible smart locks and Ring video doorbells?
Depends on the lock. Most of it is similar to the way that I just explained for the gate operation. It's basically just an unlock mechanism that is on the same screen. So I'm talking to you. Hey, Mark. Yeah, go ahead, buddy. Door should be unlocking now because I hit the unlock button. And then when they go in, there's not really a lock function from that standpoint because anytime you'd be answering your door from a doorbell press, we assume that it's because the door's locked. So there's not really like an, oh no, lock it function. There is a lock it function on the home screen of the Ring app, but it also, different manufacturers are a little bit different. So like Kwikset, Yale, I'm Schlage, I'm forgetting some other Level. We integrate with just about anybody, but how the individuals will I like the ones with the keys. I don't like the ones that are just codes because I don't know. It makes me feel weird. So.
Hey, that last question is really good. I think it's something we also covered.
Yes, it is.
Do it. It's probably
so the X line. Do you guys remember the end of Old Yeller? I'm really, and it really is like that because like I loved X line. I sold the crap out of X line, but let's call it what it is. A Plus or Pro subscription rolls in a warranty that's as long as they have the subscription. So the 3-year warranty kind of got punted. There were an awful lot of customers out there who had like 8 X devices from 6 years ago, and then they got one more to like watch their puppy, and then they still had a subscription, and they got pretty upset. So eventually, there will be a solution that is better and will make you happier than X-Line did or currently does. It will actually be built for installers and not for whoever decided how to design the last one. But if you guys had some insight in this year, like all of our webinars are about you guys now. It's not really about the products. Like how do they use it to make more money? The to and through stuff, the dealer portal, the MDF spend, the sample stuff. We're trying to get more to like a, hey, make money because of us. It's going to be, but I'm hoping to see something that is fully managed by you guys. Let's use our words carefully, instead of something that was like, buy this more expensive one and it'll be really cool. So if you have X line in stock, if you have X line clients, nothing changes. We're not booting anybody off. If you want to buy X line products, most of it will be in our distributors until it's gone. And if you find one, it will work as the next line. So there's not going to be like this date where it's like, oh no, not for November 15th, and then I lose money on. You'll never lose money on that product. You'll still have that subscription attached. And then I'm gonna find one more thing here, Mark. If you want to start doing like the outro, I know I'm like 8 minutes away. I'm trying to find one thing to share, which is my prelude.
I guess thank you. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll see you Friday for the next two webinars. Our next one is at 4. We have RTI. So make sure you go onto the VCC and click attend so you get your points. And of course, this is going to be recorded, and you're not going to be able to win when it's recorded. We already did that. So we'll be going to be giving away a lot more stuff for the next 2 Ring webinars over the next couple of days. So make sure you join us for that. A lot of great information I'm going to share, kind of help you out, help you sell more products with Ring.
Correct. And that's what's the next theme of the next 2 days. And frankly, like, this is my least fun and I think impactful training, because it's just like, cool, man, we got doorbells, and you guys are like, yeah, we do this. So tomorrow, which is every single manufacturer that's sold at 21st Century that integrates with us, how I would sell it. And then Friday is, in my opinion, a little bit of hubris, the best training that you can go to as a selling service provider. What you see on your screen now is a link that goes right to my calendar. So if you heard something today that you liked, you loved, you hated, you disagree with, book 15 minutes and tell me all about it. I like to hear about it. But please come tomorrow, come Friday. I'm going to give away more stuff. I'm going to do some silly trivia. There may or may not be a Tupac question in there. Now I feel like they all have to have something kind of related to them. We're going to do like 8 degrees of Tupac tomorrow, maybe. Connect Kevin Bacon and Tupac. Go. But please get in touch. Let us know how we can help you be selling more stuff. We know that the best way for us to double the Ring sales out there is for each of you to actually double the size of your business. Because if everybody doubled their Ring sales, I don't know how many people are going to be like, woo, crushed it this year. But if you doubled your business, I get to come along for the ride. So let me try to help do that. And with that, I'll leave it back to the 21st.
Awesome. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate you. As always, always exciting. So looking forward to the next couple trainings. And we'll see everybody in about 5 minutes.
Awesome. You guys rule. I'll see you soon.
See ya.